art of ignoring people, most ruthless power. Consider a scenario where someone relentlessly exerts their full might to provoke you, to elicit a reaction, to drag you into their drama. And yet, you simply choose to remain silent. You respond with an eerie stillness, as if their very existence holds no sway over you, as if their attempts are entirely inconsequential. This, right here, is arguably the most potent weapon at your disposal, the profound power of ignoring. However, it is crucial to understand that this power is inherently dangerous. Ignoring is far from a trivial act. It is a sophisticated psychological game with deep and often unpredictable consequences. When you deliberately ignore someone, you awaken arguably the largest and most unsettling monster within them, their insecurity. A relentless internal monologue begins to play in their mind, echoing doubts and questions. Am I truly not important? They might wonder. Why am I being overlooked in this manner? Do I possess no inherent value at all? And it is precisely from this internal turmoil that a silent war commences. This isn't a conflict fought with words or physical blows, but rather one waged through actions, or, more accurately, through the strategic absence of action. The fundamental question then arises, is ignoring always the correct approach? In this extensive exploration, we will delve deeply into the true psychological force behind the act of ignoring and unveil the often overlooked dangerous aspects that very few people are willing to discuss. If you truly grasp the intricate dynamics of this power, you will gain an unprecedented ability to remove adversaries, toxic individuals, and draining influences from your path. Furthermore, you will begin to perceive even your closest relationships through a refreshed and more discerning lens. And be prepared, for what I am about to reveal later in this discussion might genuinely shock you. Make sure you stay with us until the very end to absorb every critical detail. A pertinent question frequently emerges. Why does being ignored inflict such intense pain upon an individual? The answer, at its core, is remarkably simple. We as human beings are born with a fundamental psychological need, an inherent craving for attention. Consider the primal example of a small child. When a baby cries, true solace and calm are often found only when its mother turns her gaze towards it, offering reassurance and acknowledgement. Attention, in essence, translates to a profound confirmation: I exist, I matter, my presence is acknowledged. Scientific research strongly supports this, indicating that when an individual experiences being ignored, the very same pain centers in their brain become activated as those that fire when experiencing physical injury. In essence, being ignored is akin to receiving an emotional slap, one that far more effectively shatters the mind than it ever could the heart. Crucially, ignoring initiates a cascading cycle within the individual who is being overlooked. This cycle often begins with confusion. Why are they ignoring me? This quickly morphs into intense overthinking. Did I say something wrong? Have I made a mistake? Then follows debilitating insecurity. Am I truly not important enough to warrant a response? Finally, this can escalate into an overwhelming obsession. How can I possibly regain their attention? It is at this precise juncture that your power truly begins. You haven't uttered a single word, engaged in no direct confrontation, yet you have successfully unleashed a powerful storm within that person's mind. This, fundamentally, is the genuine psychological potency of ignoring. However, there's a significant twist to this narrative. If you operate under the misconception that ignoring someone will invariably lead you to victory, you are mistaken. There are instances where ignoring the wrong person can, in fact, become a considerable danger to yourself. While some individuals may simply crumble and retreat after being ignored, others can become significantly more dangerous, harboring resentment and seeking alternative, potentially harmful, outlets for their frustration. Let's ground this concept in relatable everyday experiences, particularly from our school or college lives. You might have observed a student in class who repeatedly attempts to voice their opinion, striving to gain recognition from the teacher or their peers. Yet, time and again, they are met with a wall of indifference, their classmates simply ignoring their contributions. In such moments, an awkward silence often falls over them, and a profound sense of not being taken seriously washes over their face. This is a vivid demonstration of the power of ignoring. The same dynamic often plays out in social groups. A person might be the life of the party, consistently cracking jokes that make everyone laugh. But if one day everyone collectively decides to ignore their attempts at humor, their confidence can be severely shaken. They might begin to internalize thoughts like, "Am I truly boring? Do people genuinely dislike me?" It's vital to grasp these examples not merely as anecdotes, but as concrete evidence that ignoring is not just a casual act. It consistently produces a profound psychological impact that reverberates deeply within an individual's self-perception. I want to make an absolutely clear clarification here. This video is not designed to promote harm or advocate for intentionally ignoring anyone out of malice. Its purpose is purely to explain a fundamental aspect of human nature, a pervasive reality that manifests in all our lives, whether within academic settings like school and college, or in our daily interactions. The key takeaway here is that if you find yourself being ignored, it does not in any way define your inherent value as a person. Conversely, if you comprehend the sheer magnitude of ignoring's impact, you will be far better equipped to control your own reactions and navigate social dynamics with greater wisdom. Sometimes, the act of ignoring can tragically trigger a powerful and often destructive revenge mode within an individual. This particular situation can swiftly spiral into something extraordinarily dangerous, especially prevalent in the high-stakes social environments of school and college. Imagine a student confidently offering an answer in class or sharing an idea within a group, only to be met with complete silence and indifference from everyone. Perhaps it happens once or twice, which might be brushed off. But if this consistent pattern of being overlooked persists, something dark awakens within them, a burning desire for revenge. This is arguably the most perilous consequence. While some individuals, when ignored, may simply withdraw, lose confidence, and become silent, there are others who quietly make a solemn internal promise to themselves. "I will prove everyone wrong, no matter the cost." It is at this pivotal moment that a profound transformation can begin. The deep pain of being ignored can either utterly break an individual, shattering their spirit, or it can propel them to an extraordinary level of determination, where they channel every ounce of their energy into proving their worth. It's often observed in schools and colleges that the very students who were initially ignored later emerge as outstanding, achieving remarkable success. They labor tirelessly, cultivating an intense internal fire, driven solely by the sting of past neglect. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that not everyone processes this pain positively. A significant portion of individuals, after being ignored, descend into a spiral of negative thoughts, experiencing overwhelming overthinking, debilitating stress, and sometimes even clinical depression. This represents the dark, dangerous side of ignoring. It illustrates how a seemingly minor act, simply ignoring someone, possesses the dual capacity to either forge a life of remarkable achievement or irrevocably devastate it. This is why I repeatedly emphasize that ignoring is a silent weapon. Understanding its full scope is not merely beneficial, but absolutely essential. Without this understanding, it can become a significant threat, not only to yourself but also to those around you. The most critical aspect of this power lies in knowing when to employ ignoring and, more importantly, when not to. Unwise or indiscriminate use of ignoring can ironically make you appear weak rather than strong. So, when should you ignore? When someone constantly tries to demean or provoke you. If an individual repeatedly attempts to put you down, goad you into a reaction, or simply wastes your precious time, ignoring them is often the most potent form of revenge. Their entire strategy relies on your reaction. Your silence completely disarms them. When faced with negative energy, in school, college, or any workplace, you'll encounter individuals who seem to complain perpetually, finding fault in every single situation. Ignore them. Their negativity is infectious and can easily contaminate your own mindset and outlook, dragging you down into their spiral of pessimism. When confronted with unnecessary drama, in friendships or group dynamics, minor issues are frequently blown out of proportion, creating needless conflict and emotional drain. Learn to ignore such drama. Life is already incredibly competitive and demanding. Expending your finite energy on trivial, unnecessary battles is a profound waste of your resources and emotional well-being. And when should you not ignore? When facing genuine problems, if you are dealing with legitimate challenges concerning your studies, your health, or critical family relationships, ignoring these issues will never resolve them. In such cases, proactive action and engagement are absolutely essential for resolution and well-being. When receiving constructive criticism, if someone offers you thoughtful, constructive feedback aimed at your improvement, do not ignore it. This kind of criticism, though sometimes difficult to hear, is a vital catalyst for your personal growth and development. Embrace it as an opportunity to learn. When a friend shares their pain, when a close friend chooses to confide in you, sharing their vulnerabilities and struggles, ignoring them is perhaps the gravest mistake you can make. Your indifference will only deepen their hurt and sense of isolation. Instead, offer empathy, listen actively, and provide support. Ignoring is fundamentally like wielding a sharp sword. If you handle it with precision and skill, applying it in the appropriate situations, it will serve to protect you and maintain your peace. However, if you wield it indiscriminately or in the wrong contexts, it will inevitably inflict harm upon yourself and potentially others. Most importantly, remember that ignoring is always a conscious choice, not a sign of weakness. You must come to terms with the understanding that not every situation demands a fight, an argument, or a vocal retort. Sometimes, profound silence is in fact the most formidable display of strength. Up until this point, we have explored the dangerous and impactful power of ignoring. But now I want to share with you a practical framework, a systematic approach through which you can effectively integrate the power of ignoring into your own life in a balanced and beneficial manner. Step 1. Identify and discern. The very first step is to genuinely understand that you cannot and should not ignore everyone and everything. Your energy is a finite and precious resource, so direct it strategically towards what truly fosters your growth and well-being. Therefore, begin by consciously deciding which individuals or situations are genuinely important and contributing factors to your life, and which are merely distractions that drain your energy without offering any real value. Step 2. Cultivate detachment. Ignoring is far more than just refraining from an external reaction. It involves achieving an internal state of detachment. This means that if someone in class attempts to tease you, instead of getting angry or defensive, you might simply offer a small smile, shrug, and move on with your focus elsewhere. Their game ends precisely there, because the power of ignoring is truly unleashed only when your internal emotional reaction ceases to exist. Step 3. Focus on your growth. The more you consciously shift your focus away from useless arguments, trivial gossip, and unproductive situations, the more your energy will naturally gravitate towards what truly matters: your studies, the development of valuable skills, and your personal self-growth. If you can master the art of ignoring the myriad distractions that permeate school and college life, and instead learn to laser focus on your own goals, you are already light years ahead of 90% of your peers. Step 4. Practice consistent application. This is often the most challenging aspect. Many people can manage to ignore something for a day or two, but they quickly lose consistency. If you wish for your power to remain strong and effective, you must repeatedly remind your mind of your intention. I am choosing to ignore this for the sake of my focus, for the sake of my peace, for the sake of my growth. Consistent self-reinforcement is key. Step 5. Achieve balance. Let's be unequivocally clear, ignoring does not equate to becoming cold-hearted or indifferent to all human connection. The key lies in maintaining a delicate balance, Offer your time, attention, and value to the people and relationships that genuinely matter and enrich your life. Conversely, judiciously choose to ignore the unnecessary noise and negative influences. It is this finely tuned balance that will ultimately forge your mental strength and resilience. Finally, we arrive at a profound realization, one that elevates the power of ignoring into a truly transformative philosophy. Throughout your journey in life, you will constantly face two distinct forces: individuals who actively seek to pull you down, diminish your spirit, and drain your energy, and situations that relentlessly consume your vitality. You always have the option to fight against these forces, to argue tirelessly, to react impulsively to every provocation. However, there is an undeniable truth. The more you react, the more power you inadvertently surrender to them. Ignoring is not merely a tactic to silence others. Ignoring is, fundamentally, a conscious act of protecting your own inner peace. Ignoring means safeguarding your precious focus and directing it towards your aspirations. Ignoring means strategically investing your energy in areas where your life genuinely improves and flourishes. And always remember this profound truth: the greatest answer in the world is not always articulated through words. Sometimes, profound silence is, in fact, the most formidable response of all. Because silence has the unsettling power to confuse, silence possesses the ability to disturb, and above all, silence is ultimately the most potent form of power. I leave you with this final, potent thought: people only hold control over you for as long as you continue to react to them. The very day you truly master the art of ignoring, that is the day you will truly become the undisputed master of your own life. We hope this video has offered you valuable insights. Please feel free to share your thoughts and comments below. For more content like this, consider subscribing to our channel.